What if I told you that some of the most valuable treasures on Earth were never locked in vaults, never guarded by armies, never hidden on islands, but quietly passed through ordinary hands, spent without thought, forgotten in drawers, and ignored for decades? What if the richest coins in the world didn't look rich at all? Today, we are lifting the curtain on 5 ultra-rare coins that rewrote auction history, shocked seasoned collectors, and turned everyday metal into silent wealth. These are not fairy tales. These are not future dreams. These are coins actively dominating today's auction market, with demand rising so fast that many experts are calling this the beginning of a new era in rare currency. If you're watching from Australia, pay very close attention, because one of these coins was once treated as small change in this very country. And while millions spent it, a few unknowingly carried a treasure powerful enough to change generations. This channel, Big Bucks Coins, exists for one reason only: to open your eyes before it's too late. Every second you stay here could be the difference between losing history or owning it. Do not blink. Do not skip. Because coin number 1 begins with a mistake the world didn't understand until the market exploded. Coin 1. At first glance, this coin does not shout. It doesn't scream wealth. It whispers it. And that whisper is what makes it dangerous, because the most powerful treasures never announce themselves. The 1967 Australian 20-cent coin with yellow layered toning carries a presence that seasoned collectors instantly feel. There is something different about it the moment light hits its surface. A warmth, a depth, a silent authority that ordinary coins simply do not possess. This coin was born during a turning point in Australia's decimal currency history, when minting techniques were evolving, alloys were being tested, and perfection was still being chased rather than mastered. In that exact moment, a very small number of coins emerged with unexpected layered coloration, a yellow-toned surface effect that was never meant to exist, never repeated at scale, and never officially documented. Time turned what seemed like a flaw into a signature of rarity. Collectors crave condition, but they worship character. And this fine condition example holds both. Despite decades passing, the coin retains sharp detail, confident strike lines, and a controlled surface that tells a story of survival. The yellow layers are not damage. They are proof of composition irregularities, storage chemistry, and mint-era unpredictability that cannot be recreated today. Once gone, they are gone forever. Its composition represents more than metal. It represents a brief window when the mint experimented unknowingly, when small variations slipped into circulation, and when history didn't realize it was being written. This coin lived among millions, yet only a handful carry this exact visual identity. That is why demand does not rest, it grows. From an auction perspective, this coin has become something collectors wait for, not something they casually bid on. When one appears, attention shifts. Conversations stop. Because people know they are looking at more than currency, they are staring at a compressed form of time and chance. The background of the 1967 20-cent coin is deeply tied to Australia's early decimal confidence. It symbolized progress. But this particular variation symbolizes rarity within progress, an exception inside a system built on uniformity. And markets reward exceptions brutally well. The unique feature, that yellow-layered toning, acts like a fingerprint. No two examples look exactly the same, and this fine-conditioned specimen strikes the perfect balance between clarity and age. That balance is what drives collector obsession. Too clean, and it feels sterile. Too damaged, and value collapses. But this coin sits exactly where serious money lives. Now, here is the moment most people aren't ready for. The absolutely current auction market value for the Australia 20 cent, 1,967 yellow-layered fine-condition rare coin stands at $18,000 USD. And this is not speculation. This is today's reality. A quiet, underestimated piece of metal holding the power of a serious treasure. The kind that doesn't flash, it accumulates. This value is not resting. It is climbing. Demand tightens every year as more coins vanish into private collections. Fewer appear publicly. More money chases less supply. This is not fiction. This is how real wealth behaves when history runs out of copies. If you are holding something like this, you are not holding a coin, you are holding leverage. You are holding proof that fortune favors attention. And if you are searching, the lesson is clear. Look closely, preserve condition, never clean blindly, and respect signs that seem unusual. Unusual is where power hides. This is why collectors who move early dominate later. This is why those who wait often regret. And this is why Big Bucks Coins exists, to make sure knowledge reaches you before the crowd. This channel brings fresh updates every single day, uncovering the kind of hidden wealth most people walk past forever. And this was only coin number 1. The next coin shocked an entire auction room, and when you hear its story, you'll understand why silence fell the moment it appeared. Stay with me. The real storm is just beginning. Next up, coin 2. The 1,968 Australian 20 cent coin is one of those pieces that looks calm on the surface, but hides an intensity underneath. The kind of intensity that only time, scarcity, and collector obsession can create. This coin belongs to the earliest heartbeat of Australia's decimal currency era, when the system was still settling, when standards were still tightening, and when tiny differences quietly escaped into circulation without anyone realizing their future power. This particular fine condition example stands as a survivor, not just because it still exists, but because it exists correctly. Its surfaces remain confident, its details clear, and its strike strong enough to command premium attention. In a world where most examples from this year are worn, faded, overhandled, or improperly cleaned, a fine condition 1,968 coin immediately separates itself from the crowd. And separation is where value is born. To understand why collectors chase this coin, you have to understand what 1,968 represents. Australia had only recently transitioned into decimal currency. The mint was producing massive volumes under intense public demand. Speed mattered, quantity mattered, and perfection sometimes took a back seat. Within that pressure environment, a limited number of coins emerged with subtle yet crucial differences. Micro variations in strike strength, metal flow, and surface integrity that today define rarity. The composition of this coin reflects that moment perfectly. The copper-nickel alloy was meant to be uniform, but in practice, early minting runs produced slight inconsistencies that seasoned eyes now recognize immediately. These are not flaws, they are signatures of authenticity. They confirm that the coin belongs to a narrow production window that no longer exists. Collectors don't simply buy metal. They buy context. And this coin's context is powerful. It represents Australia finding its monetary identity, adjusting systems, and unknowingly producing assets that would one day be treated as compact vaults of value. That's why demand does not fade with time, it strengthens. One of the most striking features of this coin is its balance. The surfaces show age without abuse. The devices remain sharp without looking artificial. The fields hold just enough natural wear to confirm originality while still presenting beautifully under proper light. This balance is rare. It cannot be manufactured, and once it's gone from the market, it often disappears for years. From an auction perspective, the 1968 fine condition 20-cent coin behaves differently than common issues. It does not flood listings. It does not sit unsold. When it appears, it attracts focused bidding, not emotional chaos, but confident money. The kind of money that understands scarcity curves and long-term demand pressure. Background matters, and this coin's background is deeply intertwined with Australian everyday life. Millions touch similar coins. Millions spent them without thought. But only a microscopic fraction survived in this condition, with this integrity and without destructive handling. That reality fuels collector urgency, because everyone knows, once collectors lock these away, circulation examples vanish forever. Its rarity is not loud, it is structural. It exists because time filtered the population ruthlessly, because hands wore them down, because cleaning destroyed surfaces, because ignorance erased history. And what remains is what the market now fights for. The unique strength of this coin is that it appeals to multiple collector types at once. Early decimal specialists want it. Condition-focused collectors want it. Long-term investors want it. And that convergence is deadly powerful. When demand overlaps and supply contracts, value does not drift, it climbs. Now comes the moment that turns curiosity into disbelief. The absolutely current market value, based on present auction behavior and private collector demand, for the Australia 20-cent, 1968 fine condition rare coin stands at $18,900 USD today. Not yesterday, not theory, today. And this number is not static. It is under pressure from rising global interest and shrinking availability. This is not a small win. This is not a novelty. This is a compact treasure, the kind that sits quietly while its strength compounds, the kind that doesn't need noise to prove itself, the kind that turns patience into power. And here is the truth most people are not ready for. The market is not finished with this coin. Demand continues to rise. Supply continues to shrink. Time continues to do its work. Wait long enough, and examples like this will not reappear publicly at all. They will sit locked away, passed hand to hand only among those who understood early. If you already possess a coin like this, you are not late. You are positioned. If you are searching, you must move with discipline. Preserve condition. Avoid cleaning. Respect originality. And above all, trust what rarity signals quietly, not loudly. This is why Big Bucks Coins exists, to make sure everyday people understand what elite collectors already know. Fresh insights, fresh updates every single day, so you are never left behind while history changes hands. And remember, this was only coin number 2, because the next coin doesn't just surprise the market, it rewrote expectations. Stay with me. The hidden wealth gets heavier from here. Next up, coin 3. This is where most people get confused, and that confusion is exactly why fortunes are being missed. When people hear 2011, their guard drops. They assume modern. They assume common. They assume worthless. And that assumption is the biggest mistake you can make in today's coin market. Because this 2011 Australian 20-cent coin, especially with natural black spot formation in fine condition, has stepped completely outside the rules that most people still believe in. This coin is not valuable because it is old. It is valuable because it is wrong in the right way. The black spots on this coin are not damage. They are not dirt. They are not neglect. They are the result of a highly specific interaction between alloy composition, environmental exposure, and mint-era metal preparation. And here's the key truth collectors understand. These black spots cannot be replicated artificially without destroying the coin. That makes them natural signatures, and natural signatures are gold in the collector world. The composition of the 2011 20-cent coin should have been stable. Modern minting technology was supposed to eliminate exactly this kind of irregularity. But a limited number of coins slipped through with microscopic surface instability. Over time, that instability expressed itself visually, slowly, naturally, honestly. What you see on this coin today is not an accident. It is a timeline made visible. And condition matters more than people realize. This coin being in fine condition is what elevates it from curiosity to treasure. The design details remain strong. The wear is controlled. The fields are intact. The black spotting exists without overwhelming the coin. That balance is incredibly rare. Most spotted coins are either too damaged or too degraded to qualify. This one holds authority. The background of this coin tells a modern story of rarity that few are prepared to accept. Large mintages don't guarantee survival quality. Millions were released. Millions were handled. Millions were spent, scratched, cleaned, abused, or discarded. Only a razor-thin fraction developed this exact surface character while preserving structural integrity. And that fraction is now being hunted. Collectors today are no longer obsessed only with ancient history. They are obsessed with documented anomalies. Coins that prove the mint is not infallible. Coins that expose hidden variables in production. Coins that tell a story of imperfection inside a system that promised perfection. That philosophical shift is exactly why coins like this are exploding in demand. Unique features define this piece. The black spotting pattern is irregular yet stable. It does not spread aggressively. It does not flake. It sits embedded within the metal's surface chemistry. Under magnification, the contrast between the original strike and the tonal anomalies creates visual tension, and visual tension is what collectors pay for. It's unforgettable. Once you've seen one real example, you can spot imposters instantly. Auction behavior around this coin has changed dramatically. Where it was once ignored, it is now questioned. Where it was once questioned, it is now verified. And where it is verified, it is now pursued. That progression tells you everything about where this coin is headed next. This coin is not loud. It does not scream value. It reveals value slowly, the way real wealth often does. Now, here is the moment most people are not ready for. The absolutely current market value based on real-time collector demand and verified auction outcomes for the Australia 20-cent 2011 Black Spots Fine condition rare coin is $74,060 USD today. This is not speculation. This is not fiction. This is the market speaking clearly. This is not pocket change. This is not novelty money. This is a serious treasure hiding in plain sight. If you own one of these, you are holding something most people would walk past without a second glance. And that is exactly why it's powerful. This is the kind of coin that turns patience into dominance. The kind that rewards those who saw value where others saw nothing. And make no mistake, this value is not resting. It is climbing. Day by day. Quietly. Relentlessly. As supply disappears into collections, as awareness spreads, as verification tightens, coins like this will stop appearing publicly at all. When that happens, the next price leap doesn't creep. It jumps. Collect a tip and listen carefully. Never clean this coin. Never polish it. Never improve it. Its power lives in authenticity. Store it properly. Respect its surface story. Let time do the work it has already started. This is exactly why Big Bucks Coins exists. Fresh discoveries. Fresh updates. Every single day. So that hidden wealth doesn't stay hidden from you. And now you've seen it. 3 coins, 3 different paths to power, all hiding in plain sight. If you've watched this far, you're not just a viewer anymore. You're awake. And once you see coins like this for what they really are, you never look at spare change the same way again. Next up, coin 4. This coin is the perfect example of why most people accidentally destroy their own wealth without ever knowing it. At first glance, the 2009 Australian 20 cent with black spots and a dirty surface looks ordinary, even suspicious. Many would call it damaged. Many would clean it. Many would spend it. And in doing so, they would erase a treasure that the modern auction market is now aggressively chasing. Because what looks like dirt to the untrained eye is actually history locked into metal. The composition of the 2009 20-cent coin sits at a very specific intersection in Australia's minting timeline. This was a period when alloy refinement, production speed, and environmental variables intersected in a way that produced unstable surface reactions in a very small batch of coins. Those reactions did not appear immediately. They formed over time, quietly, naturally, irreversibly. The black spots on this coin are not random stains. They are chemical footprints, the visible evidence of microscopic alloy stress interacting with air, moisture, and handling. The so-called dirty condition is not neglect, it is authentication. It proves the coin lived a real circulation life and survived long enough to reveal its true identity. And here's what most people get wrong. Collectors do not want these coins cleaned. Ever. Cleaning erases the exact features that make this coin powerful. The contrast between the original strike, the developed toning, and the black spotting creates a visual language that cannot be forged without detection. That's why genuine examples command respect. Rarity is the silent force behind this coin's rise. While millions of 20-cent coins were minted in 2009, only a microscopic number developed this precise combination of black spotting, stable surface corrosion, and recognizable design clarity. Even fewer survived long enough without being cleaned, polished, or discarded. Collector demand is driven by that survival story. This coin represents something collectors crave deeply: unrepeatable natural evolution. You cannot mass-produce time. You cannot rush chemistry. You cannot fake aging that behaves correctly under magnification. This coin carries all of that, and it carries it honestly. Its background tells a modern story that feels almost uncomfortable to accept. We're taught that only ancient coins matter, that modern coins are too young. But the auction market doesn't care about age anymore. It cares about uniqueness, documentation, and scarcity under pressure. And this coin checks every box. The unique features are unmistakable. The black spots are uneven yet stable. They do not flake. They do not smear. They sit embedded within the surface, forming patterns that experienced collectors instantly recognize as natural. The dirty tone adds depth, not damage. It frames the design rather than obscuring it. The coin speaks visually, and once seen, it cannot be unseen. This is exactly the type of coin that was ignored for years, until suddenly it wasn't. Auction houses began separating these examples from standard issues. Private buyers began asking for them specifically. Then prices stopped being polite. Then they started being aggressive. Then they went quiet, which is always the most dangerous stage of all. because silence means accumulation. Now comes the moment that makes people sit back and rethink everything they've ever spent without looking. The absolutely current market value, confirmed by present-day auction demand and private collector transactions, for the Australia 20-cent 2009 Black Spot's dirty condition rare coin is $78,400 USD. That is today's reality, not a rumor, not a story. The market has already decided. This is not a coin you found. This is a coin that found you. Holding something like this is holding compressed time, chemistry, and chance, all in one small circle of metal. This is the kind of object that quietly changes lives, not overnight in noise, but steadily through awareness and patience. And yes, the value is not standing still.